not a morning person. It's out there for the world to know. It takes me a while, honestly, guys, for me to process what's going on every morning. All these thoughts start to bombard my mind when I wake up, and then I just kind of go back to sleep, and then I sleep. So I wake up early in the morning because I like to obviously start my day early. I feel like I get more accomplished. But what happens is that I stay in bed almost for an hour. So what I do to kickstart my mind on a positive note or in a positive way is that I start with hearing a message on YouTube. It's an encouraging message, whether it be about prayer or of how I can live my life differently, where I can have healthy habits and incorporate those into my life, and that be the kickstart for my day, and I'm motivated. And then the next 30 minutes, I put music on, I put praise and worship. And so I just kind of let it go. The thoughts are still all coming in, but I try to align them with what the music is saying. That is what happens before I even get out of bed. That is my hour of where I direct my attention. But it didn't always used to be that way. I used to wake up before, guys, and I was anxious. I was thinking of everything I needed to do in my day, just everything that didn't get done or needs to get done, or this, or emails, or social media. And I realized that I really needed to change the way that I started my day because it was starting to affect me, and I wasn't being as effective in what I was doing as a daughter, as a sister, as a friend, and even with my mental health. I was having more negative thoughts than positive or encouraging ones. I know that the way that you think at the start of your day is really going to dictate your whole day. And so I knew that I needed to make a change. So before I even go on social media, check the emails, check the texts, check what's going on, go eat breakfast, go to the kitchen. I always make sure that I have that time for myself to get my head in the right place, to get positivity in me, encouragement in me, truth in me before I start my day, because we all know that we don't know what's gonna happen in our day, but I know if I have those tools with me before anything else happens, that I can have a different mindset. And so when the problems do occur, or the things that I just didn't plan for that day, that I can go through them with encouragement and not lose my joy, which is so important. I had to learn that and really switch up my habits. And so that's what happens even before I get out of bed. And so then I get out of bed, I, obviously you brush my teeth and do my whole washing face, everything. And then I go and I drink my beet juice. I know in past videos I had mentioned that I do drink my green juices, my beet juices. They are delicious. I like to add turmeric. I did tell you guys that I like organic things, and I like to have things that can add more benefits to my body. And I read that turmeric is actually really good for our health, and it adds nutrients. So I add that to my juice. I go and have devotional time where I go read my Bible. I journal, just things that are thoughts that have been running through my head. It's easier when we write them down on paper and write down just everything. It could be positive, negative, what you're worried about, what you're happy about, the dreams you have. And once they're down on paper, you have a clear mind for the new ideas that are gonna come to you. And if it's something that's hard for you, then you write it down on paper and you don't feel like you're holding it in. And so I journal, I do read, and then I read a little bit of a book. It's different kind of book. I usually read nonfiction books. One that I'm actually reading right now is called The Art of Possibility. And guys, this is a mind-blowing book. Really, it just trains you to see the way that you've been thinking of things. and switching it up and really making your life a little easier mentally, because I know most of the time for me it all starts in my head. All these thoughts race about people or just preconceived notions I have, or things that affected me in my childhood that I'm bringing up now. And so I have to see, okay, no, let me step back, let me apply some of these tools from the book, and I can see that I'm changing and I'm seeing things and I'm having growth. And so growth is really important to me. And I encourage you guys to read books, gain knowledge, gain wisdom. It's so good for you. It makes you more successful at where you want to go. Not like being super rich or whatever it is, but being rich in friendships, rich in relationships, having a healthy mindset, which healthy mindset then is a healthy body and a healthy soul and a healthy way of doing things. I know for myself, I need a healthy mindset, so I put that on there. I don't always like to do it. I get distracted by social media sometimes, but I make sure that that is priority and that I'm getting that stuff into my mind. And then we go off to, I put on my running shoes and then I go out for a walk. Sometimes I walk, sometimes I run, so it just kind of depends on the day. But to me, guys, it's so important for me to go outside and breathe fresh air. I get cabin fever easily. Being inside for too long and seeing the same four walls. I can't, guys, I can't. So I go out, I get a refreshing breath. Sometimes it's an hour, sometimes it's 30 minutes, but I make sure that I've developed that habit and I keep it, and I keep it whether we are in a pandemic or whether life is going on as normal. I make sure that I incorporate exercising in my routine and it helps me feel better. I get to see really new places that maybe I haven't seen before, because I like to adventure and explore even if I'm still in the same area. But if I go in a different trail or if I go a different way, I always find a few things here and there, that's spots that are really cool that maybe not a lot of people know about. When I was younger, to tell you the truth, family, I had none of these things. No. No habits. Well, I had habits, but they just weren't good habits. I didn't have any of this. I did not like vegetables, so you would never find me drinking kale juice or spinach juice. I was like, ew, no. Why do people try to torture you with these things? They taste weird. I throw them to the trash if my mom made them. Sorry, Mom. And I did not like to read. All through middle school and elementary school, I did not like reading, guys. It was torture for me again. I would... I'm embarrassed to say this, but I would... When we would have to do those book reports, I would just read the last page and then do a whole report on the last page. Or you guys know on the back of the book where it says, oh, this is what the book is all about. I would do a whole essay on that. I wouldn't read, or if I read, I do it off one chapter, but I wouldn't read the rest of the book. But then during high school, towards the end, I started getting into a lot of fiction. I love fiction, cute teenage books. I was a teenager at the time and I started reading it, and that's when my passion came for reading. And then I started getting into history, and I like history. Now I have different kind of books that I like to read about creativity or growing in your leadership or memoirs or lifestyle books. So I really like all kinds of books on the spectrum. I did not have a routine on how to wake up. Honestly, if I woke up grumpy, I would just be grumpy the whole day. It was it. If I woke up angry, I was angry, and anyone who came into my way, I'd be mad at for no reason. I love to eat, honestly. I would love to eat fast food. You name it, I ate it. Add the extra meat, add the onion rings, add it all. Add the chips, add the ice cream. Okay, maybe not the ice cream. I didn't eat a lot of ice cream. But the tacos and the cake. I love cake. But then as I grew older, I was just a little overweight and I didn't like that. And I got into exercising. And I realized that I really like it. Like, I enjoy, I don't do a full on body workout and I have muscles, but I love to go outside and get fresh air. I love to take care of my body, put healthy nutritious things in me, and really have a strong body so I can have a strong mind and we can get work done. But guys, if y'all met baby Jess, she was all over the place. Even until now, it's been progress and it's been growth, guys. It wasn't overnight. All these habits that I have now, that I really had to be intentional about it. How many of y'all know that I could sleep in forever, but I made it a habit to wake up earlier so I can get more things done. I don't like veggies, but I made the intentional choice to say, hey, no, this is good for my body. I'm going to start off small, but I'm going to do it. I didn't like reading, but I realized that when I read something I enjoyed, then that's when my passion came for reading, and that's where it started. With exercising, it took me a while. Like, when my parents pressured me or other people pressured me, I hated it because I felt like they didn't like me for who I was. But when then I started caring for my own body and saying, this is not the way I want to live, and I made the conscious decision, then I made those choices to say, no, okay, no more hamburger, or if I have a hamburger, then let me get a side of broccoli. And little by little, I got to this place. I remember one time, I come from a Latino family, so and I'm Mexican, so we have a quinceñera. It's like a sweet 16 here in the States. And I had a gentleman who we do traditional dances. And there was gonna be a dance where they were gonna actually pick me up in the air, guys. And as a girl, if you guys are out there, gentlemen, know y'all are strong and have muscles, but I was like, man, I cannot weigh too much because these guys are gonna be crying and they might drop me and then I'll be embarrassed, and it's in front of like 200 people, and my parents have waited for this day their whole life. So I started by taking out tortillas and I took them out of my diet and I said, I'm not gonna eat them anymore. Then I said, okay, I want to look good and I want to make sure that they don't drop me, and I am also not going to drink soda. So I did those two things, those two changes. I was still eating fast food and all those things, but I made those two changes, and guess what, guys? This day I still don't eat the tortillas and I don't drink the soda, but it came from that time where I wanted to make a change, and it just went consistently growing into now having a healthy diet. I want to encourage you guys that it's step by step. Don't say, oh, I don't like how I look, or I don't like that I don't like to read, or I want to make changes and then get frustrated. Take it day by day, guys. Slowly is how progress is done. All that you see now that I have, everything was a process. It was from me changing my mindset and saying, I want something different, and then making gradual changes. Okay, Maybe I didn't like to go exercise. Well, I started by walking a little. I'd walk to maybe the mailbox and I'd walk back. And then I'd walk to the store and I'd walk back. And that's how I went growing and how I have these habits now. My main habit, guys, that was really, really hard for me. And it wasn't even when I was younger, because I didn't have social media when I was younger. But it's my social media usage. So I know that I was on social media a lot. And so when I woke up, guys, I would wake up with like panic and anxiety. And so this is going back to my first habit of when I told you that I wake up and I start listening to encouraging messages. I started listening to encouraging messages and worship music in the morning and making sure I got my Bible reading done and my book reading done, because I remember that I'd go on social media the first thing in the morning and then I'd see my feed and then I see what everybody else was doing. And then it really started hurting me and it started affecting me. And then it started affecting my day. And then it started affecting my dreams or my hopes or what I knew that I was called to. It started being a distraction for me personally. And so that's why I want to tell you the kind of behind the scenes of the habit that I've developed for my morning routine. It stems from the fact of that I did used to go on social media the first thing in the morning, and then it started affecting me. Now, social media is not bad, and I have obviously my YouTube channel, and we are here. But I had to prioritize what was important so I can have a healthy mindset towards those things. And so I make sure that I start my day by knowing who I am, knowing what I'm called to, knowing my purpose, knowing what's important to me. My values, my family, and so I want to make sure that that's important to me. So if I'm with my family, I don't want to be on social media, or if I'm with my friends, I want to make sure that I'm fully there. But it all starts with my morning routine of knowing okay, I don't have to compare myself to everybody else, because I've gotten the truth, and that's what sustains me for my day. And when I do have those thoughts, because they come, that I'm able to just say, okay, no, what's the truth? What did I learn this morning? What can I meditate on that's encouraging? What did I hear that person say? How can I renew my mind? And then instead of thinking those negative thoughts, you come in with a more positive view of yourself, others, and life. And man, it is transformative, guys. So that's why I have these habits, and I encourage you, and I want you guys to grow in this. I always tell you guys that my channel is always encouragement, not just for you, but it's reminding myself of why I do it. And the encouragement I want to tell you guys, because I want to see you succeed. I want you to see you guys grow in everything you're called to. I always tell you guys that you guys are the world changers, and that you guys have so much gifting that you don't even know. So by seeing these habits, create habits of your own, and then you can own those dreams and own what you have with you. Because let me tell you the truth, you are not lacking anything. So when I open up my Bible, do my devos, when I open up those books to learn, it tells me of the gifts that I already have and how to unlock them and how to use them for good and for God's glory. I didn't know this before when I was younger at all. But now that I've grown into it, I realize how important it is for my life and for those around me and for the purpose that I'm called to. I wish I could tell that little girl, hey, work on the attitude, girl. But love her enough to tell her these truths and these habits that she could incorporate into her life and be as successful as I learned later on in life. And it was a little harder and the road wasn't as easy. But I'm here now, and it's little by little. But if you guys are young, man, start now. Do it now. Have those positive habits in your life from the moment you wake up to when you go to sleep. That's my morning routine. I love you, and I'll see you soon.